Good afternoon and welcome to Boston Asian Radio and TV English Daily News today. I am your host, Lei. Here's a look at the top stories making headlines today. Boston's Dorchester Bay Urban Development Project approved for $5 billion. Boston welcomes new women's professional soccer team. Massachusetts to lead as first state banning government purchase of single-use plastic bottles. Massachusetts faces childcare crisis as federal funding nears expiry. Boston police seek suspect in Red Line subway sexual assault. Boston's Dorchester Bay Urban Development Project approved for $5 billion. The Boston Planning and Development Agency has given the green light to the $5 billion Dorchester Bay Urban Development Project, situated on a 36-acre site on the Dorchester-Columbia Point Peninsula. The plan incorporates 21 buildings with a total floor area of 64.8 million square feet, including 7 buildings that will offer 1,957 apartments, with 20% designated for low-income households. The project will introduce new street systems for vehicles, pedestrians, and cyclists, and create over 19 acres of open space. Due to the coastal location, significant flood pathways currently exist. The plan includes measures to reduce flood risks and impacts. The initial phase will allocate $5 million for constructing flood protection systems within Dorchester. Boston welcomes new women's professional soccer team. Boston is set to welcome a brand new women's professional soccer team, securing an expansion franchise in the National Women's Soccer League. This locally led, women-owned team is set to invest over $100 million and is expected to start competing from 2026. Over the past 5 years, there has been a transformative shift in the U.S. sports landscape, with women's sports gaining widespread attention, particularly women's soccer. This new era marks a significant momentum for women in sports. Notably, the team is owned entirely by women, accomplished female leaders from diverse fields, injecting new vitality into Boston's sports scene. This will serve as a positive role model for young boys and girls, showcasing the immense potential of women in the world of sports. The establishment of this team promises to breathe new life into Boston and become a shining new star in the world of sports. Massachusetts to lead as first state banning government purchase of single-use plastic bottles. Massachusetts Governor Maura Healey has announced an executive order to prohibit state government agencies from purchasing single-use plastic bottles. Her aim is to protect marine ecosystems and reduce carbon emissions. This decision makes Massachusetts the first state in the U.S. to implement such a ban. Healey made the announcement at the Clinton Global Initiative in New York, emphasizing that plastic production and waste pose significant threats to the oceans, climate, and the environment. Massachusetts government agencies, including the governor's office, will no longer provide bottled water. Instead, there will be more water fountains and other types of water dispensing equipment. Boston police seek suspect in Red Line subway sexual assault. Massachusetts faces childcare crisis as federal funding nears expiry. According to an analysis by the Century Fund of the progressive think tank, over 56,000 children stand to lose their childcare services, while more than 1,800 childcare facilities are at risk of closure due to a lack of funding. Even if childcare centers avoid closure, parents may face higher costs. Massachusetts is already one of the most expensive places in the U.S. for childcare, according to Care.com's annual childcare cost report. The American Rescue Plan Act, passed in 2022, provided $39 billion in emergency funding to stabilize the childcare sector. Massachusetts received over $510 million in federal aid, with $314.4 million supporting the state's childcare stabilization plan. However, with this funding set to expire, legislators are working diligently to address the situation. Boston police seek suspect in Red Line subway sexual assault. Authorities are searching for a suspect believed to have sexually assaulted another passenger on the Red Line subway. According to the Massachusetts Bay Transportation Authority Transit Police, the man forcibly rubbed his lower body against a female passenger's buttocks and did not stop when confronted by the victim. The incident occurred at approximately 7:55 a.m. on a Friday between the Charles/NGH and Park Street stations. Anyone with information about the suspect is urged to contact the Boston Police at 617-222-1050. Stay tuned for more updates on Boston news as it develops.